Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a beautiful and super inspiring day, and thanks so much for joining me today for another art video. So in today's video, I wanted to share my opinion on whether I think learning to draw slash sketch is important, especially for those people out there who are interested in painting. And granted, this is my opinion based on my own personal learnings from having gone to the art school that I went to, and also from the courses that I've been investing in throughout my journey, and also my own personal goals. But I really wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on this topic because I feel that there is a lot of misinformation out there that can be kind of confusing or can lead beginners starting on their journeys to think that maybe learning to draw isn't that important, isn't that crucial, and maybe for some artists with specific types of goals, it's not. But for other artists with other types of goals, it really is. And it's important that as an artist, you know what your goals are and that you move forward with your learning and your development, making sure that you have your eyes wide open as to what it is that you'll need to learn and develop your skills in so that you can then look for the resources and move on in a way that is going to help you move towards your goals. For me, as I've mentioned in other drawing videos, my goal has always been to be able to sit in a coffee shop or go out anywhere I want and be able to draw or paint anything that I have in front of me in real life from direct observation. And in order to be able to do that, I need to know about art fundamentals such as 3D form and perspective and light behavior. And I'm not really that interested in creating carbon copies of, say, a reference photo or something like that. I do want to bring in a certain level of realism to my piece, but I always want to bring in my own personality, my own personal style into what I am creating. And I want to have the ability to be able to draw pretty much any kind of subject and not be limited by what I can and can't do. So that's my personal goal. And it's important that once you're clear on your goal, that you are doing the practice that is going to help you get there or is going to help you improve on that. And from the interactions that I've had with so many aspiring artists out there, beginners getting started on their own journeys, I get the sense that a lot of people out there have similar goals to mine. I've come across content out there that says that drawing and painting are completely separate things and that you don't need to draw in order to learn how to paint. And though this may be the case for people who are only interested in developing their knowledge and a skill with application of color or some types of abstract paintings, though even in those cases, learning about composition and creating thumbnail sketches I would find incredibly valuable. Or simply if you're doing something like paint by numbers, then yes. Chances are that if you're not in those camps, and even if you are, your artwork is going to become so much better if you incorporate a drawing or sketching practice into your art routines. And I would say, as I always recommend to my students, instead of seeing drawing and sketching as something tedious and boring, see it as something exciting that is going to help you increase the quality of your work. And also see drawing and sketching as an opportunity to stay consistent even on super busy days. Consistency, as I've mentioned before, is key to gaining that momentum. So I just wanted to clear some things up today, share my opinions, and just provide some guidance to those of you out there who may have similar goals to mine. Because there is a lot of misinformation out there or things that are simply not included in certain blog posts or tutorials that you come across that are just left out for one reason or another. So if you've been checking out my videos for any amount of time, or have been to my website and have checked out the blog posts that I've shared, then you're probably already well aware that I share helpful content on both watercolor and sketching. And this is because though I consider myself to be primarily a painter, because I teach painting and I sell my paintings, I still 100% believe that drawing is the foundation for all kinds of art. I personally make it a priority to continue with my sketching practice alongside my painting practice because I know how much it positively impacts my work. And I'll continue sharing on both because throughout my many years teaching artists of all different kinds of levels, ages, and mediums, and also styles, I've seen how much this has also helped my students increase the quality and the uniqueness of their own art, as well as their confidence with understanding about essential art fundamentals. So, today I wanted to share the main 5 reasons why drawing and sketching will positively affect not only your painting, but your artistic development as a whole. Okay, so reason number 1 why drawing slash sketching is so important, even for painters, is because through drawing, we start developing our observational skills, our fine motor skills, and our hand eye coordination with tools that are very similar to what we've been using since we were kids. We're able to work on growing these essential skills in a much less overwhelming way when using pencils and pens before jumping into using paintbrushes and paint. Aside from having basic observational skills and fine motor skills, learning to paint really entails becoming great at water slash moisture control, using soft paintbrush bristles, and of course, knowing your supplies or your materials. Moving on to reason number 2 why learning to draw and sketch and keeping a drawing and sketching practice is important even for painters is because aside from color, many essential art fundamentals such as 3D form, perspective, value, light behavior, etc., are learned through drawing and sketching. Through drawing and sketching, we're able to understand what makes something look realistic via practicing drawing in grayscale before starting with the very complex monster of a topic, which is color. By understanding form, value, light behavior, and perspective via drawing first, we're able to develop paintings using color more successfully a lot faster. What I like explaining to my students when they're getting started with understanding what makes something look realistic is that value goes before color. Value is simply the lightness to darkness of any color. And it's very important that you understand what value is, why it is that 3-dimensional form, light, and value are all interrelated, and how to develop a wide range of values, meaning lightest lights, a wide range of midtones, and darkest darks, using just graphite pencils or just one single color first before jumping in and trying to develop all of these different values for all of these different colors. If you know how to create a believable sensation of 3D form and depth in grayscale and using one single color first, you're going to be able to make the transition to using a lot of different colors in a believable way much faster than someone who didn't take time to work in grayscale and didn't take time to do value studies first. Value is number 1 when it comes to creating a believable sense of 3-dimensional form and depth. Always remember that. Reason number 3 why learning to draw and sketch is super important even for painters is because you're not limited by what you can or can't do when you know how to draw. And you can create artwork from scratch, meaning there is no need to trace or use intricate grids. So in my opinion, your drawing slash sketching practice should always prepare you to draw from life or from direct observation. Now, don't get me wrong. Grids and tracing are perfectly okay tools to use that even professional artists use. However, there is a monumental difference between using these tools when you already know how to draw versus always using them without ever developing your drawing skills. These tools, meaning grids and tracing, do not prepare you to draw from direct observation, as really you're just focusing on simply copying parts of lines or shapes like a machine would do. By always using grids and tracing, you're training yourself to see the subject as lots of random separate sections or only focusing on its outer contour. You're not really practicing seeing how to see your subject as a whole, which makes it very difficult to understand form, perspective, etc. These methods don't encourage you to learn about the structure of your subject, nor does it encourage you to bring in your own particularities, your own way of doing things, and even the imperfections and uniqueness that are true to you, since that very beginning foundational stage of your art making process, which is your sketching, your line work, your preliminary foundation sketch. You're also not training yourself to draw with your entire arm or to hold your pencils effectively for drawing. You may be able to build up certain foundational skills when you're just getting started, but sticking to only using grids and tracing for a long period of time is really only going to get you so far. Being able to take your sketchbook with you wherever you'd like and being able to draw whatever you have in front of you is simply amazing. And you certainly can build up your skills to get to a point at which you can draw anything you want. You just have to learn about the topics that you need to learn about and do proper practice in those areas. I'm going to make sure to leave a link to a past video that I shared on the keys to being able to draw anything you want down below in the description box in case you'd like to check it out. Reason number 4 why it's super important to continue with a drawing/sketching practice even as a painter is because most representational or figurative paintings get developed on some sort of preliminary sketch or start with a preliminary sketch, which is the foundation for everything else. No amount of color, texture, shading, or detail will fix a faulty foundation. And if you don't know how to build up a successful, effective foundation or what to look for, what questions to ask to fix that foundation, then you can very well be moving on to spend a lot of hours working on the next step without even realizing that the foundation is off and that your painting or your drawing is going to look off at the end because the foundation was faulty. Also, through being able to create your preliminary drawing for yourself from scratch, you get to truly understand your subjects before starting to paint them. And reason number 5 why drawing and sketching are so important even for painters is because you can literally draw anywhere at any time and with minimum and cheap supplies. This makes it much more easy for us to stay consistent with our art practice even on busy days. And really, I've talked about this before, but consistency is absolutely key for our artistic progress. You can continue developing your drawing skills and all of these super important, valuable skills that we need as artists with a pencil, an eraser, and a piece of paper. So on busy days where you don't have time to take out your paint, your paintbrushes, you don't have time to clean up, there's no excuse because there's no cleanup necessary when it comes to drawing and sketching. So yeah, those are the 5 main reasons that I can think of for why keeping a drawing/sketching practice is so essential for even painters. Now, with drawing and sketching practice, I don't mean that every single drawing that you create has to be super finalized and highly realistic. Not at all. I think that it is important that as artists, we know what sets a realistic drawing or painting apart from a drawing or painting that is not realistic, and that we're able to have the skills to create a certain level of realism if we so choose. But I'm also a huge proponent for quicker sketches, and working even on quicker sketches consistently, like in a sketchbook, which I am a huge proponent for as well, is going to get you far and is going to have a huge positive impact on any painting that you choose to work on. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for today. I really hope that this video helped shed some light on why drawing and sketching are so important for all kinds of artists, even painters, and that I've encouraged you to take up a drawing practice of your own. Thank you so much for checking out this video today. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you got value from it, share it with a friend. It really does help support the work that I am doing here on YouTube, helps more artists get to know about my channel, and I really truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that little notification bell so that you can be informed of when I share new videos every single week. Comment down below on what your main takeaway from this video was. I'd love to hear from you, and I wish you tons of progress and enjoyment as you move forward in your art journey. Bye, guys.